Welcome, Fran here. Armsconcert was a benefit concert for ronnielane, who was a founding member of the Small Faces and the bass player, and he was diagnosed with MS. A bunch of his British friends got together to play this benefit concert for him.
Seemed to prove to me that I've got some pretty powerful friends. My little dream about a year ago was to get a hyperbaric unit. This gig is going to put that straight. They are the best. That's the best of British.
The band was made up of Clapton, Jeffbeck, Jimmypage, Billwyman and charliewatts, kennyjones and Ray Cooper, stevewinwood, and many more. The initial show was to be held at the Royal Albert Hall, and it was going to be the first time that the three Yardbirds guitar players were all on stage together, because that had never happened.
I've played with Jeff.
I think just Eric. Jimmy, I've never, except for the Yardbirds, the early days.
I think the thing with Jeff and Jimmy and me, I suppose, is something that everyone wants to see, because we've never actually been on stage together.
The show went so well that they decided to take it on the road. They took it to the US and they did 9 more shows. And Steve Winwood couldn't make it. He was replaced by Paul Rogers, which is where we get like the seeds of the firm planted. Around this time, Page is playing his bbender as the main guitar. That guitar had been popping up since around the Presence time of Zeppelin. He used it on the Presence tour, and then he uses it on Into the Outdoor and on Coda. So it's that later period from, whenever, 77 to 80, that the bbender is introduced into the Zeppelin catalog, and then afterwards it becomes his main guitar. He does the Death Wish 2 soundtrack, and he's always popping up and doing different cameos with people. You see him play with the Beach Boys, and he's got the bbender. So when he takes the stage at the Armsconcert, this is the first time we're seeing him, anybody seeing him, since Led Zeppelin came to an abrupt stop. A lot of people had tickets for that tour. It never happened. And then he kind of just went underground. He went off the grid. He had been playing, with Roy Harper some, and he's been messing around with his guitar synthesizer. But really, it kind of was like a real quiet period compared to what he had been to. And now we're seeing him come onto the stage for the first time, and the people are freaking out. Check out this routine. Comes on, he takes his scarf off, waves to the crowd, takes his jacket off. Hello. Gets his rings on, he kisses that ring, kisses the other ring.
Good evening.
Rolls his sleeves up. Spanks that arm a little bit.
Well, it's nice to be back, especially with friends like you.
My name's Fran. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and press the buttons, the notifications buttons. There's a link below where you can donate to this channel to help it keep going, and also a link for my website where you can buy my music. So his opening tune is this piece by Chopin, Prelude No.4 in E minor, which is like an extremely emotional piece of music, perfect for the weeping sound of the bbender. I feel like he's saying, this is the kind of emotion that I've been going through since my friend John Bonham died, and I lost my band subsequently. This has been an extremely emotional, weeping time that, for all of us, we all lost this band. But for him, we'd never see him framed the same way again as he was in those years. Part of him died with the band, even though we've gotten so much great music from him since then. It would never be like that Page again. We would never see that level of the magic coming across that was just like so natural for the Zeppelin period. So he's trying to like come out of this time, and I feel like he like lost himself a little bit, and now he's re-emerging. He's claiming it back. He's saying, I'm here. I'm still this badass dude. He plays this Chopin piece. I'm using this Vox amp, AC30, and the Echoplex is just out of commission right now. So I use this Ernie Ball ambient delay pedal, and the Mellotron pedal is what I'm using on the rhythm guitar to make it sound like, you know, they're using like a pipe organ. So he starts out his set with that song, and then he does a couple songs from the Death Wish 2 soundtrack with Steve Winwood singing the vocals. He ends up with an instrumental version of Stairway to Heaven. Which of course everybody freaks out, you know. Stairway to Heaven hadn't gone through that phase of the don't play Stairway yet. It was still like at the peak of its notoriety. The three Yardbirds guitar players playing together, it could never really live up to the hype of that, you know, how great that is supposed to be. And I mean, it was great, but it's not, you know, what you envision in your head, like, oh, these three guys get together. The real charm of it is just seeing them all together, standing next to each other and having fun. And they are clearly having a really good time. They're all in like these different phases of their lives, even though they all come from Surrey and they all came through the same band. They're all at just these different phases, and it's not going to ever be as perfect as if they were all in the Yardbirds at the same time in 1967 or 8 or whatever. Thank God it happened. It's really cool. My name's Francapitanelli. Thanks for checking out this video. Hope you dug it, and I'm going to leave you with a little bit of them jamming around.
baby's good. So then I started thinking, and I got to drinking. Really had a blast this time. I had no business leaving. Nobody heard me grieve.